Hello, good morning, students. Welcome your chemistry class once again. I hope you stay home and stay happy with happy learning. So, next topic is that is the last time discuss your adsorption and absorption. So, next topic is your then the difference between these two terms, and next is your absorption and thermodynamic feasibility of adsorption. So here absorption is stands for means the phenomenon in which both the adsorption and absorption occur simultaneously. So here examples: when try to soak ink blue or red with the help of cotton paper, it get adsorbed as well as absorbed in a cotton fiber. This is known as absorption. This process in which both the processes occur, absorption and adsorption simultaneously. For example, for cotton pack. Similarly, next is your thermodynamic feasibility of adsorption. So here that is adsorption, whether the physical and chemical, if exothermic in nature and accompanied by the release of energy is known as enthalpy of adsorption. Enthalpy stands for heat, either the physical or chemical, and the exothermic nature and accompanied by the release of energy is known as enthalpy of adsorption. The change in enthalpy takes place for the adsorption of 1 mole adsorbate on the surface of adsorbent. So here change in enthalpy, that is exothermic energy, means here energy released. So that's why here negative sign. Here negative sign so means here uh, uh, entropies changes, that means decreases. So here delta G is equal to 0. So here that means the change in enthalpy takes place for adsorption of 1 mole of adsorbate on the surface of the adsorbent. So next is your types of adsorption. So they're classified in two categories: physical adsorption and chemical absorption. You can easily classify. So you can easily interpret it. The both depends upon the here some properties, physical and chemical absorption. So first one is your non-specific in nature. Second is your nature of gas or adsorbate. Next is your nature of adsorbent. Fourth one is your activation of adsorbent. Fifth one is your enthalpy of adsorption. Sixth one is your reversible nature, and seventh one is your nature of molecular layer. Similarly, some chemical absorption depends upon the further properties. So here physical absorption states that when the particles adsorb it on the, you can see here, when the particles of the adsorbates are held on the surface of adsorbent by physical processes such as van der Waals forces, is called the physical adsorption. Okay, this is also called physorption or even the van der Waals adsorption. And since the attractive forces are weak, and they can easily overcome either by the increasing the temperature or decreasing the pressure. So that is your physical absorption. So here some characteristics for the physical absorption. You can distinguish easily with the chemical, non-specific in nature, nature of gas or adsorbate. Third is the nature of adsorbent. Fourth one is your the activation of adsorbent. Fifth one is your enthalpy of adsorption. Sixth one is your reversible in nature. Seventh one is your nature of molecular layer. Now next is your the chemical adsorption. So states that when the molecules of the adsorbate and adsorbents are held together by the strong forces and similar to the chemical bond, the adsorption is known as the chemical adsorption or chemisorption. This leads to the formation of some sort of compounds on the surface of the adsorbent. This is known as surface compound. So here surface compound means leads to the formation of some sort of compounds on the surface of the adsorbent. This is known as surface compound. So similarly, some main characteristics of the chemical adsorption. You can see here specific in nature, enthalpy of adsorption. So basically enthalpy of adsorption of for chemical adsorption is a higher as compared to the physical adsorption. So next is your irreversible nature, surface area and nature of molecular layer. So you can easily distinguish between the physical absorption and chemical absorption on the basis of properties, nature of forces, enthalpy of absorption, temperature, reversibility, specific nature of molecular layer, extent of absorption, activation energy, state of adsorbate. So these difference between the basis of property, and this topic is the most important in the point of view. So here van der Waals forces are present, strong chemical forces. You can see here enthalpy of physical absorption is lower as compared to chemical absorption. It occur at the lower and it's a high, it's a reversible, it is a irreversible nature. So many points you can easily distinguish between these two adsorption. Okay. Next is your adsorption isotherm. So basically, adsorption isotherm states that when the pressure and temperatures are the two main factors which can influence the extent of adsorption of a gas on the solid surface. If the temperature is constant and the curve plotted between the amount of gas absorbed and the surface of adsorbent and corresponding pressure are known as adsorption isotherm. So this is the adsorption isotherm mainly depend upon the pressure and temperature, and if the temperature is constant. So this process in which uh, here states that it dissolves, in case adsorbate and adsorbents are enclosed a container, a stage is reached when the amount of gas adsorbed become equal to the amount of gas dissolved. Okay, means कि adsorbate and adsorbent enclosed, though both these two processes occur in the same container. Okay, a stage is reached when the amount of gas adsorbed become equal to the amount of gas dissolved. This state is equilibrium state and the surface of the adsorbent gas saturated, and when this adsorbate gas the no more adsorption occur. I hope you easily understand the term of saturated. Okay, so you can see here कि sometimes graph is increases after increases, then certain times that is a converted into constant term. Okay, so you can see here at equilibrium the pressure, that is your represented PS, and XYM reach the maximum value. So this is XYM is reaches the maximum value, means कि there is a no adsorption takes place, even the pressure is further increases. Pressure is further increases, but here the not the adsorption takes place. This is your equilibrium point. This state is also called saturation state in adsorption, and corresponding pressure is regarded as a saturation pressure. Okay, so here two adsorption isotherms very popular, that is your French absorption and languid adsorption isotherm. So first is your syllabus, that is a French adsorption. So basically is your adsorption, this diagram you can easily show with the help. There is some conditions, that is your low pressure, high pressure, intermediate range. So these stages is depend upon to this diagram. So here at the low pressure, so temperature, so graph is slowly increases, means here increases, but at the temperature higher, the temperature is higher. So here curve is straight line, but here arises one word, that is the intermediate range of pressure. So you can easily absorb between this and this stage, then pressure increases in between one year arise the intermediate state. So this is your intermediate state, that is XYM is directly proportional to P half raised to power 1 by n. So that's why here to see the 1 by n power, you can easily calculate it from this, means here one stage is reaches, that is your 1 by n. Here the term XYM is stands for X is equal to adsorbate and M is equal to adsorbent. Okay, so this is your intermediate range of pressure. So you can easily see the graph. So here the term, that is take to log kxy is equal to log k plus 1 by log pm, and this equation is related with the y is equal to mxc, slope of line. So I hope think you also study this equation in mathematics. So y is the log k xy m, that is your M is equal to constant, x is your log k, that is the interpreted slope of x, and that is your 1 by n log p, that is your this value. Okay, the slope of line is 5 equation, sorry, slope of line, the equation diagram 5th is equal to 1 by the n, and intercept of the x is along corresponding to log k. Okay, so next is your adsorption from solution phase, means जो adsorption की process हो रही है during the solution phase. So some observation during the this process observed by the extent of adsorption decreases with increases in temperature. During the process to rise the temperature, adsorption is decreases. Second one, increase the surface area and adsorb it promotes the adsorption. Much more area and much more the adsorbent, ये adsorption process. क्योंकि हमने यहाँ पे स्टडी कर रहे हैं सरफेस केमिस्ट्री अंडर सम फिनोमिनन्स दैट इज डिपेंड अपॉन द सरफेस एरिया. Third point is the extent of adsorption increases with increases in the concentration of adsorbate in the solution. Extent of adsorption increase means increase in the concentration of adsorbate in the solution. Next is your extent of adsorption depends upon the nature of adsorbate and adsorbent. Adsorption process is basically depend upon the adsorbate and adsorbent, and you also study adsorption is the phenomenon, both these two terms adsorbate and adsorbent. Okay, that is application of adsorption. So here 10 to 11 points that application of adsorption. So first one is the removal of coloring matter, that is your adsorption. Use here a charcoal, you can easily remove the color matter. Second one is your gas mask. So here also use the activated charcoal, is generally used for gas mask to absorb the poisonous and toxic gases. Third one is your in separating the novel gases. So activated coconut charcoal has the capacity to absorb the novel gases present in the mixture. Fourth one is your dyeing of clothes. So mordant such as alum are used in drying of the clothes. Okay. Fifth one is your dehumidizer. Dehumidizer, that is a silica gel is commonly employed for also absorb the humidity in from moisture and the air. Sixth one is a heterogeneous catalyst. Seventh one is your ion exchange. Eighth one is your chromatography, that is used for the absorption of color. Paper column chromatography, you also study this concept in lower classes as well as your 11th standard in organics chapter. Ninth one is your in qualitative analysis, that is your certain qualitative test for Lake test for the confirmation of aluminium ion. You must be noted this line कि Lake test is for the confirmation of aluminium thrice. 10 is the adsorption indicator. 11th is the in creating the high vacuum, and 12th is the fourth flotation process. Fourth flotation process you also study, okay, in 10th class as well as in 6th chapter. So this is your basic application of adsorption different. So you noted the some pointed for exam point of view. Okay.